Put your hands together for Justin Anderson.
It was June of this year. My classmates and I were on our trip around the East Coast. We got to visit a few cities such as Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., and we got to go to Hershey Park. We had left the hotel we were staying at and were eating dinner for the night. While we were at the table, one of my friends says, "Hey, did any of you guys leave a tip for the cleaning people at the hotel?" And I say, "No, I wasn't even aware that was a thing." I, th- I thought it was reserved for waiters and waitresses. And he said, "Well, you should start. Let's consider it." And I said, I tip someone because they do more than what's expected. Waiter's job is to bring me food and take my order. If they're polite and quick, I give them more money. I see no reason anyone can clean a room. My mom would be complaining about that mouth on me. But anyway, one of the girls piped up at the table and say, "But what if they need the money?" And then I looked at her and said, "That's not my problem." Fast forwarding about a month, my church is having this event called Move. And we were gathering these youth groups from several other churches, and we were spending a week in Holland, Michigan, where we would get to know each other, play games, and have services together. I loved it because I got to meet new people, it was a new place, free food, and I got my parents off my back for a week. So, wins all around. So so we're going, so we're, yeah, again. So we're going through the trip, and it's nearing the end of the week, and we're having one of our final services. I, being the punctual young man I am, happen to lose track of time and become a little late. It's genetic. But anyway, when I realize what time it is, I come down to the auditorium, go through the twin doors, swing around the balcony, and sit as close as I can. The service is pretty normal for the most part, except near the end, where they put on the monitors 5 words, each of them a different color. And the speaker says, "These 5 words are the main reason we stray from God." I don't remember all 5 words, but I do remember mine. Apathy. And the dictionary definition of apathy is lack of interest, concern, or enthusiasm. And when I heard it, I thought about when I was at that restaurant and I didn't have any interest or concern for the people at the hotel. So I chose apathy. And each group stood up together and said a prayer on the screen, and we said it together and sat down. But after that, another twist came to the night. The lighting crew had flooded the balcony with different colored spotlights, 5 of them in different areas. They were all on the balcony. And they told us to go to the spotlight that we picked and to talk to each other. So I came there late, so I wasn't really sitting there next to anybody, and I was near the top, and I saw everyone else leaving in their friend groups. I'm like, oh, I'm the only one here, so I'm just. Do I look strange like this? Maybe I should have friends. So I'm dawdling from there, thinking for a second, and I realize, Justin, you're not that important. No one's looking under you with a microscope. So I get over myself and I walk over to the light. But when I got there, I was still alone, and everyone was already talking, and I didn't feel like joining in this conversation. So I sat in the corner, and I was waiting there, and I don't know, I didn't like it. So I prayed under my hat. And I was like, "God, if you're watching me right now, could you please send someone to talk to me?" And moments after I said that, I hear a girl's peppy voice, and she says, "Hi." And I look up. And I'm surprised, because not one, but two girls are standing there looking at me. I'm like, really? Am I ugly mug? Like, what? And so they're like, "Hi, what's your name? How are you? How are you enjoying the trip? What church are you from? And why did you choose Light?" And I'm like, my name is Justin. I'm from Northridge, and I sat there and talked to him for a few minutes. And when they asked me why I chose Light, I don't remember my answer. It was probably some cop-out. But in reality, it was kind of a theme for my life, because there have been several times where I'm not really aware of my actions and how they affect people around me. And like kind of always had a what's in it for me attitude. So they're finished talking to me, and even though it was a most 3-minute conversation, it really touched me, because I was some guy in the corner, and went out of their way to talk to me. So I wanted to do that for someone else. And I'm looking around my spotlight, and I see this girl like near the edge of the balcony, like prone on her knees, crying. And I didn't know why, and I never asked her. But she was alone, no one was next to her. So I walked up, and I knelt down, and just put my hand on her back. And when I did, she looked up, gave me the same look I gave those two girls, surprised that someone was going out of their way to be with them. And then she went back to crying. And so my small group leader was walking around to see how everything was going, and he saw me kneeling with her. So he joined her other side and knelt and started comforting her too. And me and him were there comforting this girl, just kind of like how those two girls helped me when I was standing in the corner. And this is when I had my epiphany. I realized, experienced the impact it has on people when you touch them, like personally. And even though I might forget sometimes when I'm trolling over the Fortnite mic or smack talking on the court, I'll never forget how important it is to help people. Thank you.
Justin Anderson. How old are you, Justin? Justin, how old are you? 14. It's wonderful to be that self-aware at 14. Doing a good job, Monica.